our next session. Welcome everyone this evening, this morning, wherever you're at, to this next session of the Age of Brilliance. We're now at part 34, part 4, opening the portal of freedom. So it's about release, restoration, and resurgence. So Mynoo is going to be, it's a transmission today, not a talk, full transmission. In this session, we will open the portal of freedom and activate the 12 pillars of regenerative and eternal freedom. In this transmission, we're going to be releasing fear, guilt, and regret at the root. We're going to activate our self-liberation and self-love. We're going to anchor unconditional acceptance, complete the cycle from data, information, knowledge to wisdom, knowing. We're going to restore freedom as a lived state, not as an idea. So that's what we're doing this evening. And I know Mynoo may be taking questions at the end if we have time. That's what I understand. And let's enjoy the transmission tonight.
Thank you, Dea. And if anything comes up for you or for anyone, just put it in the chat so Dea can pick it up and we can cover it. Right at the get-go, I just want to request each one of you, just hold Jill and my grandkids in your prayers. They are going to be leaving Dubai this morning to head to Bangkok and Chiang Mai. So I'm very present to all of the emotions around that. And I unconditionally accept all that is, sending blessings to them as they get ready to go on their way. Jill is emotional and actually very happy to be reuniting with Sai. The kids are super excited because they have their snack boxes filled up. Time of watching anything. With that having been said, I wish them a wonderful, safe, loving, enjoyable flight and meeting up with Sai. Okay, freedom. Just reiterating what we are doing today. It's a 7 pillars for release, restoration, and resurgence. Release is dissolving that inner architecture of bondage. Restoration is returning to the original inner authority. And resurgence is freedom lived as a creative power, where it's expressed through choice, through love, through truth and service, without any self-betrayal. We're talking about these 12 pillars of regenerative and eternal freedom. Each of these pillars, they're not just lessons, they're actually liberations. So very quick recap, the first pillar is freedom, from protector to prisoner, where you release fear as an imagined threat, you restore fear as information, and resurge courage as a clarity in motion. Fear loses its power the moment it's listened to without obedience. You can listen to someone. You don't have to obey everyone that you listen to. With fear, we somehow allow ourselves to obey it, and that is where it becomes a gripping power that stops us. Freedom begins when fear becomes So it's a messenger of those false expectations and a call to action to dissolve and release those and see them for what they are, false expectations. Guilt.
Mynoo, your connection is coming in and out a bit.
It's rooted in conditioning. And it's rooted in loyalty to expectations. What you restore is responsibility, your ability to respond without any self-punishment. What resurges as a result is clean conscience, clear action. Guilt is often misplaced loyalty to outdated rules. And the way it delivers to us is freedom arrives when we stop paying that emotional debt that wasn't even yours to pay. Regret is the third pillar of regenerative and eternal freedom. Regret is completing the past. What gets released is self-attack about what should have been. And what gets restored is compassion for who you were with what you knew. This is a very important one. Compassion rather than attack. Compassion to who you were with what you knew. Really, this is honoring of our own worthiness. And what gets researched is wisdom that is integrated and not weaponized. Regret dissolves when your past is completed and not replayed. The fourth pillar is self-liberation. Self-liberation is the ending of inner captivity. What gets released is dependence on permission, dependence on validation, dependence on the
Mynoo, the connection is coming in and out a bit right now. The connection is going in and out a little bit
okay.
now on your end.
I don't know how to deal with it because I'm in a hotel which is in a retreat center which is right in the middle of a jungle, and I've got the highest speed internet.
Okay, well, keep going. I mean, I mean, 90% of it's there. So,
Hello?
yeah, you're back. We hear you.
Shall I keep going? I said I'm in this middle of a jungle retreat center. So,
Yeah, yeah, keep going. 90% of the time you're there. So it's good. We're good. Just it's, every once in a while it will go out for 5 seconds. Okay.
okay. The fifth pillar is with regards to the fourth pillar on self-liberation, the thing to remember is self-liberation is the moment you stop waiting to be freed. No out of freedom survives inner imprisonment. If you feel imprisoned inside, you can be in a free space and you will not experience freedom. Fifth pillar is self-love, ending the war within. Release, what gets released is conditional worth. What gets restored in value. And what resurges is a gentle yet powerful self-reliance. Self-love is not indulgence. It's simply refusing to abandon yourself ever again. The sixth pillar is unconditional acceptance, the end of resistance. What gets released is the fighting of reality. And what gets restored is a radical presence of basically what is. And what resurges as a result is flow, adaptability, and peace. And freedom expands when resistance ends. The seventh pillar is the evolution of knowing. And this is where that what gets released is mental overload and confusion. What restores is discernment. And what resurges is embodied knowing. Freedom is not knowing more, it is knowing what matters and living from it. What gets released is distortion, denial, self-deception. What gets restored is clean seeing. What resurges is aligned action. The bottom line is nothing binds like a lie that you live inside you. That is the superglue. Nothing frees like truth that is lived gently and fully. The ninth pillar is choice, the point of power. What gets released is reaction and victimhood. We are born with choice. That is the modus operandi of being human. What gets restored is conscious. Freedom exists the instant you remember you are the choice in your matter, and you can choose again. You could always choose, you always will be able to choose. Exercise and express your choice. Now let's continue today. The 10th pillar is emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty is freedom from that inner hijack. Inner hijack. I keep getting this blip, your internet connection is unstable. So if you see me staring at the screen, that's what it is. I'll keep going. We have this internal hijacker that takes us off our course. It's one of the biggest perpetrators of throwing a curveball at us. And when you release that inner hijack, emotional entanglement and suppression is what gets released. When we get emotionally entangled, we actually suppress our freedom. And it could be about anything, It could be about love, someone you love so much that you just simply want them to be a certain way. You simply want them to be experiencing life in a particular way. Just slowly and surely getting entangled in that emotion. And it suppresses your freedom. Not that long ago, I was sharing that here I was in India, completely free. And my daughter-in-law and my grandkids were in Dubai. That was under attack as I was witnessing it on social media. And of course, on the ground, life was pretty much normal on the ground. There's a lot of activity in the skies. and one or two debris that would hit the ground, causing quite a concentrated area of fire, which would get blown out of proportion in the social media. So she was fine. She was so pleased with the time that she's having with the kids. I would go through from time to time that emotional entanglement. And the last thing she wanted, or the kids wanted, was my projection of worry about their freedom. So I had to be really, really vigilant about this inner hijack and constantly practice the stillness breath, that breath in and a long breath out, so that I could come back to a stillness, and then that put me in a state of sovereignty, and my excess emotions could dissolve. And today, finally, they are moving to Bangkok. I could easily get emotionally entangled. Yesterday, there was a slight change in tack in the attack patterns that were happening. The thing about here is how do you free yourself from inner hijack? This is where, many of you have heard me say that I'm not about let it go. I really am not about let anything go. If you feel something, don't push it to one side. Acknowledge it fully. And if you still don't feel free from it, allow yourself to be with that emotion. And as you be with it, after having acknowledged it fully and unconditionally accepted it, it actually does dissolve. If you push it to one side, you've started that cycle of emotional entanglement. And it immediately begins suppression of your freedom. So it's quite useful to look at what in your life that has occurred that you've sort of made peace with. Dangerous phrase. I have made peace with this. Emotional entanglement is in action. It's not about making peace with anything. It really is about honoring yourself and acknowledging how you feel, how you experience anything without judging yourself. Just the act of acknowledgement alone is honoring of your worthiness. You reclaim your dignity using the stillness breath. You return to a space of stillness. Emotional entanglement starts to disentangle. And after a while, it starts to dissolve. What gets restored? What gets restored is emotional literacy. Emotional literacy. I'm not saying emotional intelligence. That is a different thing. Really knowing how to navigate your emotions without suppressing them, without overriding them, without undermining them, without allowing them to bully you. Understanding who you are, honoring everything that you experience and feel, knowing that nothing can possess you. You can stand tall and be in this state of regenerative eternal freedom. What resurges as a result is emotional leadership. Emotions are energy. They are not identity. I'm an angry person. I'm an eternal optimist. You can give yourself that title. The emotion itself is not identity, it's just energy. And when you're in this space of this powerful energy of your emotions, freedom is mastering the current, not drowning in it, which means you can experience the current of anger if that's what you feel. You can experience the current of, anxiousness or freedom, but not drown in it. And that's really what I mean by this particular pillar of emotional sovereignty. This is that freedom from that inner hijack. They are just checking in with you if there's anything showing up for you to ask or share.
No, I mean, the inner hijack is always something kind of interesting to discover and talk about. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, I mean, I think we're at times now where we have to really be aware of what's triggering us and how that
yeah.
affects us, especially now that so much is going on collectively on the planet and then internal in our lives. So, yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much going on. Multiple times a day, I am acknowledging, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was chatting with Dea earlier on that yesterday was the first day that my daughter-in-law shared something very up close and personal occurred. So they were out. Normally they go to the park, but it was somebody's birthday party. So they had gone to like a constructed area where the birthday party was happening. And they were all there, the kids, the moms. Um, and the middle of the day, this is about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the park where they would normally play is where a debris fell. Now, it was a debris or a drone, we don't know, but it did make a loud sound and it fell right there. And everybody, the kids, the parents, everybody just saw it up close and personal. The inner hijack could go in all directions at this point, you know? So, and she didn't share it with me till later on in the evening, but I was feeling quite restless, when they were going out for this party to their usual park, which just felt like too open air. Unfortunately, they were not there because it was a birthday party and it didn't happen in the park. It happened in the inside constructed area. But it was one side didn't have the wall so you could see the park. So I gave myself a big tick in the box of emotional leadership, and so did she. Let's go to the 11th pillar. We're nearly coming to the end of this portal, and it will be open fully at the end of our session today. The 11th pillar is time liberation. Time liberation is really about beyond urgency and delay. So what gets released when you have that time liberation, you know, operate from intention. Yes, absolutely. You can declare that something will occur on or before a particular time and release it, you know. What gets released is that time pressure and postponement. And what gets restored is presence. If you take on your intention with presence, you actually research a very interesting phenomenon that I call as inspired timing. And what happens? You experience the freedom to only focus on your intention as opposed to that artificially set deadline. And you just keep doing what requires to be done. You take the next step next, and that collapses time. Everything that you intend happens now. I mean, so many of you here have heard me talk about it. Many of us have heard Abraham Hicks talk about it. How that does the universe work? You desire something and it is delivered immediately, now. When you meet that desire is simply a function of you matching your vibrational frequency to that of the desire being fulfilled. You matching your vibrational frequency to that of the desire being fulfilled. Not the frequency of the desire per se, but the desire being fulfilled. And when you are present to that frequency, holding the intention, it, it blossoms and blooms. Time collapse happens. So many times I've experienced time collapse. I mean, I remember Sarah, I think you were there, Dea, you probably also experienced it when you did your immersion with me in Bali, when we would be traveling to the waterfalls and stuff and big long traffic jams. And, we could have been there for 8 hours because for Balinese people, their ceremonies take precedent over everything, you know? For some reason, their own security police would just make the way for our cars. We never experienced 8 hour long delays. And we were going from one part of the island to another. People didn't even know that, I was putting this into practice. Because often when you do an immersion with me, there's stuff that happens even after you come home, So even at night, we are doing stuff. So my intention was to actually accomplish what was set to be accomplished in the day. And that might not have happened if we would be exhausted and stuck in traffic for 8 hours. And that's all, I was very clear about the intention and completely present, experiencing these amazing processions and those beautiful offerings carried by beautifully, stunningly glamorous and so graceful Balinese women, experiencing all of it and still getting home on time. Inspired timing. As long as you remember, anything and everything that is meaningful happens now, So if you're stuck to, oh, this goal has to be achieved and I'm getting delayed now, you're actually in the delay. You're not in the now. And your delay guaranteed. But who's caused it? You have. The 12th pillar. The 12th pillar. Wow, it just gives me like goosebumps, even talking about it. It's the legacy of freedom. Legacy of freedom, freedom that continues. Freedom begets more freedom. What gets released when you anchor in the legacy of freedom? What gets released are these small self-doubts, self-beliefs that are limiting. They get released. There are many, many statements, beliefs that get passed from one generation to another. So when those get dissolved and released, what is restored is transgenerational healing. Deep-seated transgenerational healing. And what resurges is freedom that is self-liberating and that which liberates others. The real freedom, the true freedom, leaves a trace. It restores life beyond you. If each one of us, this is the fourth in the set of the transmission around freedom. Those of you who've missed it, listen to the entire set. Put it into practice for yourself. If any one of those pillars has you experience that cellular presence of freedom, you're already starting to leave a trace. And everything that is playing out on the planet will simply, come to an end in terms of the game or that is around command and control. True freedom leaves a trace. It restores life beyond you. Take any one pillar and work with it. I invite you to just close your eyes and just allow me to read this integrated activation of freedom at a cellular level as we bring this transmission to an end. I release fear, guilt, and regret. I restore truth, love, and inner authority. I rise as freedom, regenerative, eternal, embodied. I release fear, guilt, and regret. I restore truth, love, and inner authority. I rise as freedom, regenerative, eternal, and embodied. Breathe into this body. Let freedom land in the nervous system, not just the mind. Breathe out with a long breath out. Do 3 such breaths, 3 more such breaths. Breathe in and breathe out, long breath out. Continue the breath as I read this integrated activation again. I release fear, guilt, and regret. I restore truth, love, and inner authority. I rise as freedom, regenerative, eternal, embodied. Last breath in, long breath out. Just be with you. Be you. Simply be. When I count to 5, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What this portal that we have just opened fully, the portal of freedom, what it has made available is anxiety now transforms into grounded confidence. Effort gives way to coherence. Leadership becomes a natural way of being. Life reorganizes without force. Freedom becomes your default state, not a destination. This is the freedom in the age of brilliance. This is the freedom of the age of brilliance. Not escape, not rebellion, but a restoration of your original design. Whole, sovereign, and alive. With that, I declare the transmission complete, and the portal of freedom fully activated. Allow yourself to acknowledge it, receive it, accept it, allow it, anchor it, experience it, and amplify it. Over to you, Dea, to conclude the transmission and open up the Q&A.
Okay, well, thank you, Mynoo. That was very potent and powerful, and I'm ready to embody the portal of freedom. I think that's what it is. So if anybody here has any questions, I think that how do we want to do this? Do you want to just okay, raise your hand and then
Yeah, raise your hand is the best. And if you have a question that you want to put in the chat, that also is fine. And get yourself on camera so we can spotlight you. And you
yeah.
can ask me anything. Your questions aren't limited to this portal. There's lots going on for each one of us at this time. So literally it is ask me anything. We have, I think,
Okay.
about 22 minutes. So
Okay.
yes.
So
So Meena, do you want to come on camera?
She's first because she's wants Mina. Are you there?
Yeah, Meenuji is like dark hair, so even if I come on camera, you
Oh,
won't be
I
able
see.
Okay.
to see me.
Okay.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay,
Ask your question.
yes, Pranam. Please forgive me for asking this question, but what is happening, this news and all, whatever is happening in Middle East, and uh, kind of giving me anxiety, and although not directly concerned and all, but what is happening is like it's become like addiction. Like yesterday, you were saying ceasefire, global ceasefire in the meditation, but like it's become so addictive. I was saying, what will happen if everything goes away and nothing happens? Like it's become into our system and DNA, and I'm watching lots and lots of podcasts with perspective from different countries and different authorities. So why it is happening? Is my mind hijacked by media? And voluntarily I'm not doing it, but it's happening. So what is your suggestion on that?
Unfortunately for me, you cut out for a lot of it, but I'm going to ask Dea to summarize the question.
So what Mina was basically saying is that she's on podcast, she's hearing all these various perspectives about what's going on in the world, causing some anxiety, not really sure what's going on, that kind of thing, and wondering, what you have to say about that. Um,
Yeah.
yes.
The important thing to remember here is that the more we give energy to, good or bad, right? Either of those, to what is going on. I mean, there are people that are talking, and there are different perspectives that are there. And there is a reality of what is going on also. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. The important thing is come home to you. This is a mental COVID, if you like, which is very easy to get sucked into. But it is really an indication for you to come home to you. Because where does anxiety as a debilitating force, where does anxiety not exist, is in the now. In the now, there is only what is. And that may be of upset, a feeling of anxiety, but it's not, you're not carrying that. You're not living and breathing that. So use this opportunity to really tone that muscle of converting anxiety into awesomeness. If you haven't downloaded my book, please do. I mean, I had no idea that I would become such a huge user of my own book. In the 10 days that before the release of the book, every day I was implementing different methodologies, like literally three lines of the book I was implementing myself. It has helped me massively, massively. Now, so that's the first thing. Focus on you. Do what is best for you. Yes, it is addictive. Get your phone, set it up on grayscale. Videos don't look that attractive when you watch them in a grayscale. You know, don't take your phone with you. Put it away. You are not in a space where you require the phone with you. Do very, very practical mental things. The emotional hijack that I talk about, put that into practice for yourself. Stay with the facts. I mean, for me, there was one fact, which is what I was seeing in social media, all of these outbursts here and there with fires, everywhere. And then there was another fact, which my daughter-in-law was saying, listen to me, I'm here on the ground, not on social media. So then I realized that actually, what is on social media, it just is. And I'm giving it meaning, giving it the meaning that that is the truth. I know better when I tune in on what is actually playing out. And this too shall pass. This too shall pass. So come home to you, Meenaji. That's the most important thing. The less the people are bought into the anxiety part, the faster this is going to dissolve and go away. Anything can only exist in our presence if we are a vibrational match to it. The role of Trump at a soul level was only one thing, which is to get humans to exercise their choice. So he does that in our face. Whether we agree with it or not, it really does get us to go in and look at what is it that matters to us. And it does get us to exercise and express our choice. Critical mass of humans has reached, but we created this construct of nation states, which actually have become personalities on their own right. And we don't have a critical mass of nation states that have risen to exercise and express their choice. So the bully syndrome is what is being brought to an end with this play out. The three nations, US, Israel, Iran, their own ways of, bullying play out. Whatever and I'm not saying anything is good or bad or whatever, but that does play out. So that bullying form of command and control is what is being neutralized with this play out. That's all I'm going to say at this point. Meenaji, I expect that is somewhat useful for you.
Yes, thank you. And what I was saying, it's become so addictive to watch this. Like I feel if everything stops, ceasefire, as you mentioned, cease is still cease, not
Yeah.
gone. But like I think what will happen then next? Like I don't see anything other thing. Like it's impacted me so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Addictions impact hugely. And this is just simply another form of addiction that is playing out, not just for you, for so many of us. The thing that I learned from my son that helped me massively is grayscale on the phone. It's not that convenient to watch anything on my computer. So grayscale on the phone is awesome. I just need to charge my computer there. So we'll bring
Okay.
Sarah in.
Sarah, would you like to unmute yourself and
Yeah, I'm here.
question?
Just
Yeah.
give me a moment, Sarah. Let me get the charger.
Sure. Yeah.
Hi, Sarah. So great to see you.
Hi. You look
Good.
beautiful. I know.
Thank you.
I know you're not feeling so well. I saw your message, but you
Oh, well,
look great.
thank you. Thank you. Just a little head cold. That's it. Nothing too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to be together.
Yeah, it is. Wonderful. Is it cold in New York?
All of a sudden, yesterday was my birthday, so I was out
Oh.
the last 2 or 3 days. Was gorgeous here, so it was perfect timing. It was that divine timing. And today it got gray and cold and wet. We had snow and rain. Nothing's
Oh.
accumulated, but it's chilly and gray and yucky. Hi Mina G. Thank you.
Happy belated birthday, though. Really.
Thank
I'm glad.
you. Well, it's
Belated
still not belated. It was my first birthday, right? So it's still
All right.
going. But thank
All
you.
right.
It's
Happy
nice to
birthday
all be
week.
together.
Yeah, it is.
It's nice to be together. But yes, it's gray, cold, sort of windy, rainy, snow. All of a sudden.
Okay, go for it, Sarah. Your question.
Yeah, so thank you. I'm going to sort of follow up on Mina's question. It's a question I had before. Just my perspective on this really started with my learning through the pandemic and conversations with other friends who are light workers about Trump and sort of when we were going as as we were preparing during the crown effect, COVID, the pandemic, um, that as we were going into the new universe or 5D or the shift in the planet and in the universe, well, in the planet and in our lives, was that actually, and this is something I learned through through the London School of Economics and other institutions I've worked within, is that before we fully, or as we are fully transforming, that the importance of dismantling existing institutions and frameworks, um, that we've lived within, I guess, in the Western world for, I don't know, 100 years, 150, 200 years, that it's essential for us to dismantle. And what's happening with Trump and the wars and everything that's been going on, Epstein, is this dismantling of what has been existing. But before we fully transition into this new world, um, all the uncovering and dismantling and destruction needs to happen so that we can consciously live choice and co-create, co-innovate, collaborate together to create the new world that we want to live into. But that we can't build, we need to dismantle the foundation of command and control in order to create the new world. So that's how I haven't been stressing as much because that's how I see it, is this is an essential stage for us. My question is, what are a life lesson, or what are there life lessons? I don't know, for me or for all of us, um, living through this period as we journey through this period right now.
So a couple of things you've covered a number of things, and a couple of things to just highlight. You will recall when we were doing the transmissions during COVID times, there was a whole series I did on navigating the unknown. And in that, we had the 10 commandments of the new world, right? And they were basically foundations that form the new world, right? Which had uncertainty certain, unknown is the known, change is constant, take nothing for granted is the modus operandi. Um, there's a switch from survival to thriving, switch from command and control to collaborative co-creation of coexistence, switch from sustainable to regenerative, unconditional acceptance being the real lubricant for infinite expansion, right? Um, Now, all of that was a foundation that was anchored in 2020,
No.
right?
Okay.
So that is what we are actually building on, and building and rebuilding occurs immediately. Now nature took it on. The moment that foundation came in, nature came in quite strongly, and humans were in their own space because of COVID. So nature did not have the energetic interferences of our so-called innovations, right? It just did what was required to return to its originating intent and reclaim the truth of what it is, right? So a lot of correction took place, in terms of major issues that could have got the world to completely implode. Now, that's one thing to just know and understand. Now, 2026 onwards is actually meant to be, this is the year of accomplishment, and it is meant to literally take us forward in leaps and bounds, right? 2025 was literally the last time we had to consciously choose to put the past in the past. So dismantling where things still remain is occurring, not dismantle it, because we'll only use our mind and maybe some action, you know? But like at a systemic level, certain things have just been anchored as a truism. That dismantling is occurring by the divine. The divine is making that occur, you know? And so it is happening. As long as sufficient of us give permission, this is a planet of free choice. So allowing is a very, very important choice. As long as many of us give that permission of allowing for this resurgence of the new world in this age of brilliance to occur, it will occur. The journey to occur, it is going to occur anyway. The journey could be a tumultuous one, an aggressive one, or it could actually be, quite an invigorating one. You know, so hence the speed with which these portals are being opened. These portals can take centuries, and we are on the 34th session of this Age of Brilliance portals. I don't even recall how many portals we've already opened, pretty big ones, you know. So the important thing for us to remember, Sarah, is let us go back to those portals if we need to.
The portals you're referring to are the Age of Brilliance ones.
The Age of Brilliance portals, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like even each one of us, the moment you experience the portal opening, our holographic presence expands so much that whatever we think and feel, the ripple effect of that is quite massive. So if we get stressed and anxious, the ripple effect of that is quite massive. Even this piece about social media, becoming addicted to it. Like I was talking to my niece, she was getting married in Dubai in the beginning of April. Now, clearly that's not going to happen, and they had planned everything to dotting the I's and crossing the T's, right? Everything was meticulously planned. And because a year ago is when they announced the wedding, most of the guests had already booked their tickets by July last year, right? All of that is done. So she went through this space of feeling depressed that, oh my God, how is this going to play out? And of course, it is not going to play out in the way we envisioned. So my thing to her was, the last thing you want is to have a dip in your self-expression. Every day, do one thing that is just you expressing you, just for the heck of it, just one thing, even if it is a minute. And stay on the facts. It's not about you feeling guilty that your friends have spent so much money on buying their clothes and everything, and then this is not going to happen. It is happening. The wedding is happening. It is happening in Dubai. It's not happening now. That's it. So what is occurring right now? We've become so close as a family. We've been woken up, all of us, all over the world. We've been awakened to really value the now, really value the relationships that we have. All of that little bickerings that we might have about each other, hey, unconditionally accept what is, because what else is there? What occurred here, certainly in Dubai, on the 27th, I left Dubai on the 27th. There was no inkling, nothing that anything was even likely to occur. And we are on day 13, right? So anything can happen at any time. And if you do, get sucked into media and news and all that stuff, okay, use time segmentation. Get your mind tools. Your mind tools will really help you break the pattern at this time. So time segmentation where you spend no more than 30 minutes on any one thing that you choose. I'm going to binge on social media. 30 minutes, no more than that. Have a break of 10 minutes. Start applying the strength of your mind. Things will shift. Life lessons really are that all that is real is only what is. And only what is all that occurs in the now. Like Jill was saying to me, she was so present to this, she could hear the statement in her head when she saw this debris of the missile land only a short distance away in the park where their kids would have been playing had this birthday party not been there. And lo and behold, the birthday party was there. They were there, and she then says, I guess it's because tomorrow we are leaving Dubai and I'm to leave it with completion. This was a completion with no regret whatsoever. And then, okay, life carried on. So the life lessons really are now, in the now, what exists is your presence. And through your presence, what you anchor are the three things you're born with: choice, dignity, which is your worthiness, and you in your source mastery, your unique mastery that puts you at the source of your life. Things occur. How you experience what occurs is a matter of your choice, not anybody else. Trump cannot do anything to how I experience what is occurring. Neither can Iran, neither can Israel. And the three characters in their own way have such an extreme of command and control around women and some of the liberties that we're talking about. Israel has its own command and control extreme situation. Whatever the justification may be, it doesn't matter. There is no foundation for command and control anymore. Literally, the entire world is collaborating and co-creating right now. In India, many five-star hotels have closed down their restaurants because we are running out of liquid gas. Why are we running out of liquid gas? There's no war happening here. Well, it doesn't matter. This is the world war, not weaponry. It's this level of impact that we have on each other. The last thing we are to do is to add to it by mindlessly allowing our addictions to take over our entire day, whatever that addiction may be. It could be food for comfort. It could be whatever it might be, social media binging. My niece was saying, all this time we were preparing for the wedding. 10 days ago, the conversations were very different. And she says that fortunately for me, when I go on social media or Instagram, all I see are, wedding dresses and draping a sari and all that sort of stuff. So she said, I had one day of feeling really depressed about it until she spoke to me and came into the now and said, thank God for that. I'm not binging on all this doom and gloom, So
Mm.
everything exists, how what you choose is how you wish to experience what is occurring. Those are our life lessons really in this.
Hmm.
Thank you. Mm.
Do you want to do one more? I know we're at 6:32.
I'll do the two hands that have been raised for a while.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whoever needs to leave, please go ahead and leave. I know we are going over time right now. Ananta,
Ananta,
would you like to come on camera?
Oh, I'm sorry I'm unable to right now.
Okay, no worries. Go for it.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to thank you for that book, for the Anxiety to Awesomeness, because I've also been in a very interesting situation. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but I think it makes a lot of the things I've been fearful of in these last few years like make a lot of sense to me. Like there's stuff that's been going on that has been like a kind of a threat to my own safety. And now it's like the same kind of thing. It's dissolving and it's a process. And I think had I not gone through all the internal work and the journey and everything, it would have been really like so much if I were just to look at that. But I think just like putting that seed in my mind that I'm just going to look at it as a fact and look at what's happening right now and just like you say, like take the next step next has been really amazing. And now I'm actually like finding it more to be an adventure of learning, than anything else. And just like really being present to the moment with whatever action steps need to be taken. And it's been, in its own strange way, really liberating, actually. And like what's the worst that could happen? It's like, oh, something like this is really like beyond what I could have ever imagined, from like a worst case scenario perspective. But
Yeah.
it's like been so great because it's validating that I wasn't just keeping myself in a little cage to not go out and do all the things I'm supposed to do, but I really was listening to something inside that knew everything's not quite right yet and it's not quite safe to do all of these things, but I'm getting myself to that point. And so now I'm just like still proceeding with everything like slowly, but just, like, wow, like the universe really has some interesting ideas for us that are beyond what we could have ever known or thought of. And I feel like I'm really getting to live out the message that I also had put out for myself, which was really to become the hero of my own journey in
I
many different
know.
ways.
Can you imagine? You wrote the book about it.
Right? Yeah. And I knew that this is not just a book. This is actually like I have to take it as a personal blueprint. And
Yeah.
that whatever I believe it very much. Like the more I hear authors talk, the more like it's like we receive these downloads from
Yeah.
a higher source for us. And we
Yeah.
have to be awake to that because we don't know what's coming next. But it's like
Yeah.
this thing comes and then you're meant to live it. And if you know that, then you're better off than like 90% of people who don't know it and just want to promote stuff.
Yeah.
So
And
it's been
Ananta, it's so interesting you say this. When I wrote Anxiety to Awesomeness, I mean, I wrote it in big, long paragraphs and stuff. And
Mhm.
my guidance was, no, 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 this is not implementable that way.
Yeah,
I rewrote it in these like one sentence, two sentence pieces, And I remember
I
Anne
love
saying to
that.
me, you know what Anne said to me? She said, it looks like a poetry. I said, and I didn't explain. She doesn't necessarily know that I follow guidance and all that. So I just said to her that this is how I feel this book should be written. And you know what?
Hmm.
In those 10 days, I was literally taking 2 lines at a time,
Wow.
you know? And if it was
Yeah.
those big paragraphs that were dense, I probably wouldn't
Right.
have been able to do much with it. So true. So true. We are guided. It is, you know, we are conduit really.
Yeah. Yeah. Just for everything. And it's like, the word that I got from your immersion was trust. trusting. And that's been so hard for me. But I feel like this situation, with as much of a catastrophe as it
Yeah.
is really the universe saying, okay, here's the perfect classroom for you to learn to trust you above and beyond anyone else and trust the guidance that comes from within.
Yeah.
And I have almost no choice, but I do have a choice, and I'm
You do
making
have a
that choice.
choice. Yeah, that's right.
I'm making that choice. So yeah, I just really appreciate it though that I spent because I had my birthday a couple of months ago and I just like read that book and I wrote all these notes and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just need to like kind of transcribe it and then I need to commit to just meaning and fact. Anytime something
Awesome.
comes, just stop making meanings out of it and know that
Right.
there's always a choice, even who you interact.
Yeah. Thank you for being one of my early readers of Anxiety to Awesomeness. Thank you. Prema, you had your hand up. Do you
Yeah, but the time is okay to talk.
briefly, whoever needs to leave, please leave. Yes, Prema.
I'm stuck in Mumbai. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm facing the certainty and uncertainty.
Yes.
The first 2-3 days, I was a little bit upset because I prepared my payment and everything for 2 months. And I was a little bit anxious how to pay the bills and everything for March. But now I'm in peace completely. And what is happening in the world is not affecting me because I accepted it.
Yeah.
When I accepted it, I just surrender. So I am absolutely in peace. The things will happen when the things has to happen.
Prema, I'm coming to Mumbai today. If you are
Okay,
somewhere around Bandra, we can meet for sure.
okay, I'll come to Bandra and see you. Okay,
I'll message you. I'm staying at Land's End, which
okay,
is the Taj at Land's End. So,
okay. Tomorrow I'm coming to Bandra for a kirtan.
okay. So tomorrow evening we can meet for sure.
Yeah, the kirtan is tomorrow evening. So on before
During
then
the day, I have a full day's program. But this evening, maybe,
evening we can meet. Okay,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
not for a
We'll meet.
long time, but for a short
Yeah,
period.
we'll
Yeah,
figure it
because
out for
I'm
sure.
going for a kirtan tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, then we
Okay.
see tomorrow. Okay, then.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
I don't know why I'm completely in peace and accepting everything in my life.
Yes.
And what I'm seeing in the TV is not affecting me because it's a
Yeah.
collective karma. Everybody has to go through it. So accept is the best thing and not
Yeah.
reacting it.
Yes. Thank you. Over to you, Dea, to complete our session today.
Well, thank you everyone for coming today and for all the wonderful questions. And Mynoo, thank you for the beautiful transmission as we have a legacy of freedom and brilliance as we move forward and really take care of ourselves and nurture our insides right now. We're all feeling a lot and are sensitive. So with that, I'm just grateful to be able to host tonight and love seeing everybody on the call. So thank you, Mynoo.
Thank you and happy first birthday, Sarah, once again.
Thank you. Love. Go safely, everybody.
Yeah.
Godspeed.
I remember the time when your mom wished you happy birthday in Bali.
Oh, yes, right. Remember? Well, no, we sang her happy birthday.
Oh, we sang her happy birthday.
We
Okay.
sang
I
her. That
remember
was November 8th. Yeah, we all sang her. Dea was there.
That's
Okay,
right.
guys.
Bye,
Lots of
everyone.
love.
Good
It's a
night.
big
Good
weekend for
night.
me. Thank you.
Yes, please, Mynoo, keep us posted when
I
Jill
will.
let.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where are you going? Where are you going after India?
I'm booked to go to Dubai on Sunday.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Amidst a lot of, sighs like, I will not let you go there. And
No.
But isn't Viva's there, no?
yes, I have to
Yeah.
wind up my apartment,
Right. Okay.
So,
We love
Yeah.
you.
Like,
let's see. I mean, it's like taking the next step next. I'm booked to go to
Mm.
Dubai. So we'll see what occurs.
okay. Well, enjoy, Mynoo.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.